Sometimes we don't know where the road of life is going to lead us. For me, it led me to LaunchCode, a place where purpose and passion collides, a place where you have an opportunity. LaunchCode helped me launch a new career. It gave me that opportunity. So I want to give back. I want to be able to help a new generation of learners become developers by sharing all of my life lessons and all of my struggles and what it took for me to get to where I needed to be today. LaunchCode helped me do that. Now let's go on this journey together. I'll see you there. Okay, so now we're in chapter 6. We're going to be talking about errors and debugging. And before we go further into the chapter, let's go back and let's review what we've already talked about up until this point. What I want you to do is I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to type your answers in the comments, because I want you to continue to keep reviewing as we move forward, because it doesn't make any sense or do you any good that you make it so far and then you forget some of the fundamental things. So one of the questions I want to ask you is, what is a variable? What is a variable used for? What is an expression? What is a Boolean expression? What are the 7 primitive data types? Also, too, I want you to know the difference between an operand and the operators. So go ahead and leave your comments in the comment section, your answers in the comment section, and we'll begin to move forward. So, okay, without further ado, let's get into the curriculum. Here we're at chapter 6, errors and debugging. The learning objectives here is, upon completion of this chapter, you should be able to do the following. Describe how to debug programs using console.log, and we've kind of talked about it a little bit in the earlier chapters when we introduced console.log to you, but we really want to use console.log as a tool to help you debug your programs. Explain the 3 common error types: syntax error, runtime error, and logic error. Again, we talked about logic errors earlier. Now we're about to really get deep into it. This is why I wanted to plant that seed in your mind early on, so when we get to this section, you're ready to receive the information. 3, give examples of each of the 3 common error types. Explain some best practices to avoid errors and debugging. Explain how reference error and syntax errors may occur with examples. The key terminology. While reading this chapter, you will notice the following key terms listed by the page they first appear on. As you read, you should make note of the definitions of these terms. Again, it's so important to learn the terms, the terminology. What is debugging? Bugs, debugging, syntax errors, runtime errors, and logic errors. Categories of errors: parsing stage, execution stage, syntax, and exceptions. Diagnosing error messages, token, syntax highlighting. Error types, built-in objects, and then of course we're going to go through the reading of, and then you have an exercise later on for you to go through and practice. Now, again, this is important to understand. Error messages are your friend. Of course, they're going to be frustrating when you first encounter them, but learn to use them to your advantage. And so again, take heed to this chapter and apply what you learn. Okay, so now we made it to the end of the introductions. I want you to go ahead and study some more. And remember, the more you do, the more you improve. See you in the next section.